at Mercy's Corner, the voice of the community. Here we are.
We're back in the office like we never left with Monique Pope, right?
Monique Pardo Pope, yes.
We're here in her space. We came here to get to know her a little bit more because a lot of people have been DMing me that they don't know too much about you.
Sure, absolutely.
So I'm so grateful that you open your doors to us. I know you're very personal because I've seen you in social media. So I'm very grateful that you opened the doors, and hopefully we can get to know you a little bit more. Oh, I learned something new today, that you're from the Hialeah.
I'm from Hialeah. I am a Hialeah girl through and through, absolutely.
And your background, I didn't know either, is Cuban.
Yes. So, and I'll give you it, but before we start, I just want to say thank you so much, Mercy, for having me on your show.
Welcome.
I appreciate you coming into my practice and my firm, and so you can see what I do on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
Obviously, you know I'm running for the Commission 1 group in Miami Beach. I'm so thankful that I made the runoff. We have a lot of work to do before December 9th, but we are working very hard to, reach our goals. And to your point, yes, I born and raised in Hialeah.
Wow, I didn't expect that from it.
Yes. So my mother came from Cuba when she was a little girl on Operation Pedro Pan, which you know is through the Catholic Church.
Yes.
So
that's where Willie Chirino también vino.
Yes. And so the Catholic Church set up these flights to the United States, and my mother and her brothers came at a very, very young age. Fast forward, 18, 19 years old, my mother met my biological father. They were married in Miami. They had me, and I was actually born and raised Hialeah Hospital, lived in La Grande.
Oh my God.
And I went to Day Christian for many years before I went to Jose Marti for middle school. Mm-hmm. And I just came to find out that we went to school at the same time.
Yep.
There you go, Jose Marti nights.
Yep, that is in our blood. But yes. I did graduate in Braddock. I did because my parents were very low income, so every time the rent will increase, we had to move. My parents came in Mariel. So, when you came from Mariel, you had to go to Hialeah.
Absolutely.
So I was born and raised in Hialeah, and then we did move a lot in that area, and then we moved to Kendall when I was like 16. And I've been a Kendall girl since then. My daughters are raised in Kendall, so
Kendall's wonderful. My parents live in Kendall, and another fun fact: my stepfather, who my mother met at Palmetto Hospital, because my mom's a microbiologist. She worked for many, many years at Palmetto, and that's where she worked and raised me as a single mom, working 3 jobs, picking herself up by her bootstraps. But she met my stepdad, who had came over on a raft from Cuba, was lost at sea for 4 days.
Oh, wow.
Directed nada más by the La Virgen de la Caridad, and had resigned himself that he was not going to make it to the United States. Ended up landing in Key West during Fantasy Week.
Oh my God. So
you can imagine. You can imagine the first thing he saw when he arrived to the United States. Naked people with paint. He goes, no, mándame para atrás, Cuba. And so they got married when I was 13 years old, and that's when we actually moved. My parents always had a small place here in Miami Beach, in North Beach, by 72nd. So I spent all of my weekends actually here in Miami Beach. But we actually lived temporarily too at the Casa Blanca on Collins.
Oh yeah.
But our residence, our permanent residence, was in Hialeah until we moved to Kendall, and that's where I transferred from Barbara Goldman, where I started high school, later to Miami Sunset, where I graduated in 1999.
Oh wow! I was in Braddock and you were in Sunset.
Yeah. So we were rivals after the fact. So.